Prime Minister, dear Christianis, Secretary General, dear Jens, ministers, generals, admirals, excellencies, distinguished guests. I am really sorry we cannot all meet in Riga today. I keep many good memories from my visits to Latvia as a German defense minister, and I have always believed that security in the Baltics is a European matter that concerns all Europeans, from Riga to Rome. The Riga conference has become a key annual appointment for transatlantic relations. So allow me to begin with a few words on the transatlantic community. There is a shared transatlantic credo built on the 4 freedoms outlined beautifully by President Roosevelt during World War II. Freedom of speech and worship, freedom from need and from fear. And this is who we are. This is why we feel we are part of a transatlantic community, beyond politics and administrations. A community of people, a community of shared values. And that was, of course, still true regardless of the outcome of the US elections last week. But like most of the world, I watched the elections intently. And I want to again warmly congratulate President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I very much appreciate the kind words they have found, both for Europe. We can assume that the tone in the White House will change. And we will again be able to address daily concerns and issues. But what we should not expect is to turn back time or to go back to a world of before. The United States have changed, Europe has changed, the world has changed. And yes, wounds can be healed, but some shifts in priorities and perceptions on both sides of the Atlantic run much deeper than one politician or one administration. Of course, our alliance is based on shared values and history. It is based on a common belief in working together to build a stronger, more peaceful, and more prosperous world. And these goals will always endure. But I believe it is now time for a new transatlantic agenda fit for today's world. And I believe it is Europe who should take the initiative. We look very much forward to work with the new administration on areas that can strengthen our bilateral and multilateral partnerships. And this should cover everything, from security to sustainability, from tech regulation to trade, from leveling the global economic playing field to strengthening global institutions. These are not only EU-US issues, and our alliance is not just about us, but a close and trustful cooperation between the US and Europe must be the backbone of a new global alliance. It is about working with emerging powers and like-minded partners around the globe, from Africa to Latin America, from Australia to democratic Asia, and far beyond. It is about working in our common interest for the common good. Europe has a lot to contribute to such a close and flourishing partnership. Its economic strength, its leadership in areas such as data protection and green technologies, or its diverse international relations and diplomatic networks. But Europe also needs to develop more strength in some areas to improve the transatlantic cooperation, and certainly in the area of security. For years, I have been a strong advocate of strengthening the European pillar of NATO. The alliance had to change and to modernize. NATO has done an excellent job in fulfilling its mission of collective defense. New countries have joined. The threats we face have changed. And the burden sharing within the alliance is also changing. Europe started to step up. We're now investing together as Europeans in capabilities that we currently lack, and this will strengthen NATO as a whole. We have invested in military mobility within Europe. We have invested in our cyber capabilities and in our response to hybrid threats. And Europe must continue to make good use of the new tools that we created in recent years, such as the permanent structured cooperation on defense and the wide cooperation established between the European Union and NATO. The EU member states, which are also members of NATO, are well aware of their remaining shortcomings and must continue to work to overcome them. Security is a common good. But the past year has also shown us once again how fragile our world is. A virus smaller than a grain of dust has managed to put international cooperation to a new test. And in the face of the crisis, some have chosen to isolate, others have tried to use a difficult situation to strike geopolitical gains. Europe has chosen to lend a helping hand. From the very outset, we organized the global response to coronavirus. We convened more than 40 countries to collectively raise over 16 billion euros for tests, treatments, and for research towards a vaccine. We helped set up COVAX, a global initiative to create the largest portfolio of vaccine candidates in the world, and we brought together 186 countries, but also NGOs, business leaders, and philanthropists, and together we are securing millions of doses of future vaccines for low-income countries. No country can achieve this alone, but together we can. And we want to invite everyone to join us. We need to pool our expertise, share our resources, and coordinate our approach to tests and treatment, to vaccines and vaccinations. And here too, I see great potential for Europe and the United States of America to work more closely together. Common positions and joint action are also urgently needed in other areas. I would like to focus in particular on the situation in our eastern neighborhood. The people of Belarus are asking for democracy. Tensions have risen once again in Nagorno-Karabakh, and the poisoning of Alexei Navalny represents yet another violation of international law by Russia's leadership. In these months, the European Union has taken clear positions on all these developments. And I believe that decisive action must follow now. So let me present two ideas for a renewed engagement by the European Union beyond our eastern borders. First, our European global human rights sanction regime. Finally, it will allow us to target those responsible for human rights violation worldwide, no matter where they occur. We have proposed a number of sanctions, from freezing assets to travel restrictions, so to maximize the impact of our measures. And second, I would like a more strategic approach to our economic cooperation. Since 2014, the European Union has mobilized over 15 billion euros to accompany Ukraine's stabilization. And thanks to our support, Ukraine is today a much stronger country. And this is what we have to offer to countries who decide to embark on a substantive reform process. And this is what we could offer to a democratic Belarus. The people of Belarus are asking for free and fair elections. They see people going to the polls in these very days in Ukraine, in Georgia, in Moldova, and they ask for the same right. Democracy in Belarus. This is their goal, and this is what we want to support. And this is why the European heads of state and government have asked the European Commission to prepare a plan of economic support for democratic Belarus. The European Union stands ready to mobilize all its economic means to support and accompany democratic change. Europe's economic influence is immense. It is up to us to make a more strategic use of our economic clout. It is up to us to take clearer positions and to enforce them with stronger actions. I will keep working for an assertive and courageous Europe, and I know you are on our side. Thank you.